back to the channel. And this is another episode of I've read this article so you don't have to. And the story about GameCentral, why didn't y'all put the journalist's name on this fucking article when y'all wrote it? So we could talk to them directly, bro. Because EA refused to let BioWare make a Dragon Age remake. That conversation never fucking happened. It was never happened. Look, I made a video about the Maddie Plays interview with Mark Dar, and he talked about like, yeah, they threw around the idea of remastering the Dragon Age trilogy, like trying to make Dragon Age a trilogy, like Mass Effect trilogy was already a Mass Effect trilogy before they remastered it. It was already a trilogy. They wanted to do the same thing with Dragon Age. They tossed around the idea, but nobody actually tried to do the thing. He said that shit in the interview. I don't know where the fuck GameCentral got the idea that EA just flat out refused. They never even tried. They did toss around the idea, but EA is not about to just listen to an idea. Like, okay, go do that. Like, no, because the developers themselves, like he said himself, he didn't know how the fuck they were going to do it. Why? Because engines are different. All the games are different. Subsequently, they wouldn't be cohesive. They wouldn't be Mass Effect trilogy. They wouldn't be as cohesive. And that makes a whole lot of effort that they didn't want to put in. Why? Because either they would have to go build a whole new team and train that whole new team. He said this in the interview. Go watch it. To rebuild Dragon Age, or they would have to do it in-house. But they were working on so much shit at the time that they literally would have to hire more people anyway to do the other shit so they could do it in-house. Because they would have to build a whole nother team. And EA don't like spending money like that. He knows that for a fact. He's worked there for a long time. Ever since they got bought. So the fact that they mentioned that, like they make this the headline when it was never pitched properly to EA anyway. They never even tried to get this to go. Why? Because they knew it was gonna be hella fucking work to get all this running. But he said if like after Mass Effect, if they go and do a remaster or remake of Origins, that would just make more fucking sense. That would make so much more sense after the next Mass Effect game, because now they have one singular team with one singular function with all the manpower. But look, they don't mention the Maddie interview in this at all. So when I read this, I thought they were gonna misquote the fucking interview. That's not even the case. They just made that shit up. They talk shit about Velgard. They bring up that, oh, maybe they could remaster or remake Origins. But they never decided not to. It never even got pitched. And they talk about what BioWare used to do before they came to console. They made so many console games, bro. And then oh my goodness, this what got me, bro. They redid the Mass Effect trilogy, yes. Despite the sci-fi series always having sold less than Dragon Age, are you fucking stupid? And this is where I really wanted to know who wrote this article. Who wrote that? Because not a single person in history of gaming would have wrote that shit and put their name on it. That's why it says story by GameCentral and not story by a fucking journalist. Because who wrote it? There's one Dragon Age game. There's one good selling Dragon Age game. Well, no. I mean, Origins sold pretty good. But Origins sold almost as much as Mass Effect 1 did, only on Xbox. Think about that. Origins dropped multi-platform, and it sold better. It did sell better than Mass Effect, but almost as like Mass Effect Solo on Xbox Solo. So just as much as Origins did, multi-platform. Who the fuck are you writing to? People that don't know gaming, because there's no reason GameCentral should have let that shit slip out. How much did fucking Dragon Age 2 sell? Definitely didn't sell as much as Mass Effect 2. Didn't sell as much as Mass Effect 3. Definitely didn't sell as much as fucking Mass Effect Andromeda. So who the fuck did Dragon Age 2 outsell? The first Mass Effect that was fucking exclusive to Xbox? By what margin? Maybe a couple 100 million copies? I mean 100,000 copies, not 100 million. It didn't sell Too many millions over it. Who are they lying to? And then Inquisition came out. Inquisition sold a whole fucking lot. But the Mass Effect trilogy as a whole sold more than the Dragon Age trilogy as a whole by at least 8 million copies. It is so crazy that they wrote that. Like, who the fuck are y'all lying to? Why would y'all be lying in the article? Why would they be lying? Plain and simple right here. Put the totals of the trilogies together. Put the totals of the trilogies together. Just think about this. Fuck that. Think about this. The worst Mass Effect game sold a lot better than the worst Dragon Age game. Now, which Dragon Age game is the worst one? You can pick two. You can pick fucking Veilguard. Which one of those are the worst Dragon Age game? Put that motherfucker cell for cell against Andromeda. Andromeda fucking sweeps. It's crazy how they say it's so wild how a game journalist put this shit on air, bro. It got past editing. Y'all don't fact check y'all fucking editors no more. Y'all don't fact check y'all writers at all. GameCentral. Then you cover up the journalist's name and just put the whole GameCentral. The whole GameCentral. They did the same thing when they tried to smear fucking Wukong. Remember, a journalist company, I forget which one, tried to smear Wukong, and they changed the name of the girl that wrote it to just the company name, so nobody would know who wrote the fucking article. That's the craziest shit. Like, when game journalists do shit like that, that's why I like making these videos, bro. Because these game journalists we need to spotlight this shit to get them out of the industry, bro. Who is paying these people? Who is actively paying? GameCentral. Take this shit the fuck off the internet, bro. You can't make this shit up. One great selling Dragon Age game versus the Mass Effect trilogy is outrageous. Mass Effect 3 sold like 10. Are you fucking stupid? Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my god, that shit is crazy. And that was back when they didn't even have a big ass fan base, bro. They didn't even have motherfuckers really fucking. They was only on Xbox. They didn't even have a big ass fan base. And they were still so. Oh, it's so bad, bro. GameCentral, y'all need to clean y'all shit up. Make sure that like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.